r/AskReddit. How could 2020 possibly get worse? The China-India border situation going from a standoff to a full-on shooting war. And then Pakistan gets involved to aid China. Man, it's gonna be a three-way nuke war. Oh jolly. Wait, why is it so cold out there? It's hurricane season. And wildfire season. Some sort of large-scale electrical failure would be the icing on the cake. Oh please not that. Quarantine plus no internet would suck so much. A proxy war between any two nations' nuclear powers that turns nuclear. More specifically, since everybody's asking, China versus India, like what's going on right now, or the US versus Iran. And finally, American Civil War 2. We find alien life, more like alien life finds us. A world war? If we were stuck in a 2020 time loop. Can't wait to see 2020 at Rewind, to be honest. Intro starts with Will Smith coughing. Gah. No kidding, why are we giving 2020 ideas? Anybody remembers post from 3rd of January? It was something like, first day of new year WW3 starts, second Australia is on fire, third day Pope hits woman. What will happen fourth day? And people were joking what terrible shit will happen, and now it's like worst year since 1939. Oh duck, a guy on there said COVID, back when it had just started. Not sure, but the first 5 months feels like 5 years. Was talking to my wife about Hong Kong protests and Australia wildfires, and it seems like it was a couple of years ago. I'm watching the US to see how the elections are going. That could really give 2020 the cherry on top. We're on like the 6th era of 2020 by now. Remember Trump's impeachment trial, way back in the first era of 2020? A double pandemic. Ebola's back. You just had to ask, didn't you? You will go down in history as the person who jinxed humanity to annihilation. There will be no recorded history to go down in after an annihilation. Calling it now. The second half of 2020 is gonna be the best comeback in history, starting with a Rocky IV montage. A massive meteorite hitting the earth. COVID-20. If pandemics are a once in 100 year thing, there's 1 out of 100 chance another one starts this year. I don't like those odds. Still got second and third waves to come yet. Confirmation that the UG99 stem rust has spread beyond East Africa, the Middle East to multiple points in Europe, East Asia, and the Americas, permanently threatening the global supply of wheat. Seriously, no one ever talks about stem rust. Yellowstone, at least for the USA, for my country, Jacob Zuma somehow makes it back. Yellowstone caldera blowing would mess up more than the US. Large portion of the world would be ducked. 3 ancient men found frozen in a pillar in a cavern, with strange masks made of stone scattered around the place. A man-shaped statue falls to earth. Diarrhea, widespread, infectious and without warning. All the toilet paper hoarders, look who's laughing now. Portals to Oblivion. Yay 2 Bethesda series in 2020. The return of dragons after centuries. I live in LA, and today I was thinking the universe could truly duck us by finally having the big one strike this summer. But I guess that's just regional and not more awful shit for the entire world. Several X-class solar flares that completely destroy global telecommunications, household electronics, and power grids all over the world, thereby knocking humanity back to the Stone Age. Insert whatever time period you think would best suit the scenario, i.e. 1950s, 1900s, 1800s etc. Wait, maybe that wouldn't be such a bad thing to have happen. Edit. Several people seem to be focusing on the Stone Age part of the above statement. If it makes all of you feel better about this hypothetical scenario, I have struck out the Stone Age part and left it up to the end user to decide how this scenario plays out. A catastrophic earthquake on the west coast of the US, followed by a Category 5 hurricane that goes up the entire east coast. Today is the beginning of hurricane season. As far as I know, the earth is still rotating on its axis, so that could, stop. The government taking away more internet privacy. They actually renewed the Patriot Act, meaning they can look through your browser and search history without a warrant. So yes, it got worse. America spirals completely out of control, like total anarchy. Random chimp event. The magnetic poles are going to shift. So the compass in my car's rearview mirror will be inaccurate, jumps out window. Coronavirus vaccine goes nationwide and 2 weeks later 99.9% of recipients become zombies. It's an election year, it could get a lot worse. American Civil War 2.0. Israel declare war on Palestine. China does anything. The San Andreas fault line goes off. Yellowstone has a full-scale eruption. Aliens. Zombies. A huge solar flare. America has a civil war. Lord Voldemort returns. It rains spiders in places other than Brazil. A sharknado. Asteroid impact. Nuclear war. Rick Sanchez shows up. Everyone dies. Yeah, I think that would do it. The rest, we don't care, I guess. Someone makes time travel and changes the timeline. How do you think we got here? Damn butterfly effect. Saying it can't get worse. The phrase is taboo. One guy our construction crew would always say, what could possibly go wrong? Just before we were doing something dicey, like moving something heavy. Every time. George, just shut up. Space bees. Edit. Space wasps would be worse. Delete this before they see it. The immortal Queen of England dies. You could step on some Lego. You're walking through a war-torn city, a cold mist occasionally shooting up your spine as you carry a bag full of scavenged food across the town. The world hadn't been the same since World War III, the third wave of the pandemic, the re-election. As you get back to your safe house and begin undressing and unloading what you gathered, you've stepped on a Lego. Pain shoots up your leg as you collapse to the floor holding your foot. Your vision starts to go black as it begins to become unbearable. It seems like your hard work in the end didn't really pay off. In the end, it wasn't any of the apocalyptic things that done in The Survivor of the Wasteland. Instead, that it was something far less deadlier, a Lego. Microsoft decides to flex and lock all pirated content on our SAH, always on, spy telemetry boxes. Knocks hard as duck on wood. Kraken. The accelerated trials for COVID-19 vaccine gone wrong. Instead of preventing infections, the vaccine helped the current strain evolved into something much more deadlier. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.